Now, there has been a new surge in fighting between Azerbaijan and Armenia. It's over the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh. It's a week after the long-running conflict reignited there. Russia has called for a ceasefire. Azerbaijan has threatened to destroy military targets inside Armenia in retaliation for a missile attack on its second city, Ganja, which it says killed a civilian. Well, our South Caucasus correspondent Rehan Dimitri has been following the latest developments from the region.
Azerbaijan's second largest city, Ganja, was struck by Armenian rockets, killing at least one civilian, the authorities said. This marks an escalation in the week-long war because fighting is spreading beyond the conflict zone. But the mood in Ganja appears defiant.
We have no fear. Everyone is at home. Victory is with us. We will go forward. We have never been afraid of the Armenians. We, the people of Azerbaijan, have always been tolerant and strong.
In Stepanakert, the capital of the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, many civilian buildings have been damaged by the Azeri bombardment. Local residents have been forced to seek shelter underground.
Just today, Azerbaijan started heavily attacking the capital city Stepanakert, targeting vital civilian infrastructures and civilian buildings with heavy missiles and aviation bombs, including with cluster bombs and cluster missiles, as a result of which we have many casualties.
Turkey continues to back Azerbaijan in its campaign to recapture Nagorno-Karabakh. Crowds in Istanbul gathered to show their support for the war.
My condolences to our martyrs and to their families, but their blood will not remain on the ground. We are conducting military exercises on our own lands. We want Armenians to leave. Karabakh is ours, and it will stay ours. I'm really sad. God willing, everything will go much better.
In Yerevan, Armenians that consider Karabakh, which they call Artsakh, a part of their homeland, have called for international community to recognize the territory's independence.
We decided to do the flash mob in solidarity with our government, with our soldiers, and with the call that the Foreign Ministry of Artsakh did recognize Artsakh as a kind of solution for this war.
Despite international calls for ceasefire, the latest attacks on civilian areas from both sides signal a dangerous new phase in this conflict. Rehan Dimitri, BBC News, Tbilisi.
Hundreds of people are believed to have already died and thousands more are fleeing their homes. The conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh, a disputed region of the Caucasus, is threatening to develop into a fuller war between two former Soviet republics. Sky's Diana Magnay reports from Goris in Armenia.
An Azerbaijani soldier kicks the Armenian flag out of the way in freshly conquered territory in Nagorno-Karabakh and hoists the flag of Azerbaijan. In the capital Baku, the crowds go wild. This is a big win for Azerbaijan, the first village the army says it's captured in a region the country claims is theirs. Nagorno-Karabakh, a cause as sacred for them as it is for Armenia. As we travelled in, much of the region's ethnic Armenian population were on their way out, forced to flee Azerbaijani shelling, leaving their men on the front lines. Roxana Hachaturian's 20-year-old son was called up 3 months ago, just in time for the worst fighting between the two sides in 26 years.
He always tries to give me hope that everything will be all right. From his side, he needs time to feel okay, but I don't really know how he is doing. I just need a peaceful life, only peace and nothing else.
But peace looks very far away. Tit-for-tat shelling today in the Karabakh city of Stepanakert and the Azerbaijani city of Ganja. And on the front lines, it is a mix of old-school trench warfare and modern drone technology, the ultimate reconnaissance and targeting tool, especially in mountainous terrain. There are few roads out of Nagorno-Karabakh for the displaced to travel, and they are targets too. This bridge was hit with a quasi-ballistic missile, but it's still passable. Our base back in the nearby Armenian town of Goris has become a major stopping point for the displaced and for the war-wounded. Both sides are being very cagey about their casualty numbers, but we saw a large number of ambulances pass us on the road out of Nagorno-Karabakh. There are hospitals there, but it would seem that they are at capacity because a lot of the wounded are being brought here to the hospital in Goris and some of them on to the capital Yerevan. The church in Goris bears the scars of the last war, fought in the early 1990s at a cost of at least 20,000 lives. 54-year-old Rej Dalakian has volunteered to fight again.
I'm not afraid at all. Previously I was in the war in the 90s, and now I'm not afraid to go back to the front line.
The weapons system's very different now from then. The hopes and prayers of those fighting still very much the same. Diana Magnay, Sky News, Goris, Armenia.